Hey guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana with my Explore the Card, episode number 25. Today's episode is going to feature the 1997 Upper Deck Michael Jordan Records Collection insert. Before we begin, I want to apologize. I did miss last Friday, but I promise it wasn't because I was lazy. About Wednesday evening, I reached out to a collector friend of mine because after I did my research on the card that I chose for episode number 25, I've replaced it with this card today, the Records Collection. I chose Silky Smooth. It's an interesting Jordan card. I did some research. I did a lot of research. There's a bunch of interesting little idiosyncrasies about the card. I noticed something in the pop report. It did not seem quite right. So I reached out to another experienced veteran, one of the bigger Jordan collectors that I know in the world, and he confirmed my suspicion that the PSA pop report was incorrect. It was actually split into two places, in two different locations, and so they did not combine those two bodies of work and the data, and so the pop report was incorrect. I knew something was not quite right after I finished the episode and was just about to hit record. I was like, this doesn't seem right. The pop doesn't seem correct. And so I reached out to him. He confirmed what I suspected. We've reached out to PSA. We've asked them to fix the problem. As soon as they fix it, we'll bring you the Silky Smooth episode. Who knows when that might be, whenever PSA fixes it. But we're here today to talk about the 1997 Upper Deck Records Collection card. All right, so here's a good look at the card. I've got mine pulled up in my PWCC vault. I always like to start by showing you what I have so you know how biased I am. It's not a matter of if, but it is how biased I am. When it comes to Jordan cards, whether I own it or not, I'm a pumper, I'm a hyper, I'm going to bring you the energy and just tell you how much I like it, how much it matters, how glad I am to have it, or how much I want to have it if I don't. I'm lucky enough to have one of the Pop 14 PSA 10 copies right here, as you can see on your screen. This is my card. The first thing you're going to notice is, yes, you are correct. There is an imperfect top left corner, but that is not the topic of today's episode. Unfortunately, it does exist. There are PSA 10s and slabs that probably snuck past the radar. I just happen to have one that snuck past the radar. I also just happen to have paid the record high for this card in this condition, which is not unusual. If you know me, you know I have no shame when it comes to buying low pop Jordan cards. I'm happy to pay a premium. But this is the 1997 Upper Deck Records Collection card that we're going to talk about today. And I own this card in a PSA 10 copy. I also own a PSA 8 copy. However, my PSA 8 copy is in the PWCC Weekly Auction number 17, which will end 2 days from the day you're watching this video. So if you're interested in picking up a nice, clean PSA 8 copy of this really cool Jordan insert from 1997, go check out the PWCC auction at pwccmarketplace.com. Go to Weekly Auction number 17, and you can go find my PSA 8 there, and you can bid some exorbitant price on it so I do well on my auction. Funny. Anyway, let's, as always, we always talk about where the card comes from, and this card happens to come from the 1997 Upper Deck base set. And you will see it right here on your left. I've got the checklist pulled up. I'm not going through the whole checklist. There's 360 cards in this checklist. Jordan actually has, depending on how you look at it, we'll say 4 primary base cards in this base set. The first one is his card number 18, which you see pictured on your screen right here. In PSA 10 condition, this is a $655 card. Believe it or not, it's only a pop 28 in that base set. So that is a $655 card. He actually also has card number, let's see if I can find it, 139 right here. So this is Jordan's second base card. Really good looking pose right there, in my opinion. Good looking card. He's wearing the Jordans. Mutombo's looking on with nothing to do, totally helpless. One of the rare times Jordan yams it with 2 hands. Usually he's a one-handed dunker. That card in PSA 10 condition is $158, and it is a Pop 52 card. He also has card number 165, which you will see right here, featuring MJ in his suit, signing some autographs. It says Court Perspectives. That card, number 165 in PSA 10, is $185 approximately, last sold. And it is only a Pop 17 card. So a pretty low pop on that card. Probably has a lot to do with the blue edges and corners on the back. And then lastly, he has card number 316, which I am guessing is going to be, yep, here we go. right here. And so this is card number 316. This card in the PSA 10 is a $162 card, and it is a Pop 21. So the card number 18 is the one Jordan base card in this set that's the most valuable. Enough about the base set. There's 18 insert sets, so let's pull this up on tradingcarddatabase.com. This is my go-to when it comes to figuring out the insert sets. There's, as you can see, there's 15 insert sets listed on here, but there's a little more to it than that. The most notable sets we'll talk about, Diamond Dimensions. That's one of the hottest sets in the business right now. These are issued in Series 1 packs. They're serial number to 100, and they're obviously intricately die cut. Here, we'll take a look at one. This is, let's just look at the Gary Payton. Here's your Gary Payton. It is numbered to 100. You can't tell, for some reason they put a white card on a white background, but this card is jagged, right? It's very intricately die cut in a couple places with a bunch of pointy edges. These cards are hand serial numbered out of 100. So that's your Diamond Dimensions insert set. And then we also have another very popular, probably one of the most popular, is game jerseys. 1997 Upper Deck game jersey is no joke. That is a 1 in 2,500 packs card. Big time game worn jersey back when jerseys were all game worn. So this is a game worn MJ jersey, no autograph, just a game worn jersey. Great 8 is another insert set in here, issued in Series 2 packs. Those are serial numbered to 800. High Dimensions is a little bit more attainable version, non-die cut version of the Diamond Dimensions that we just looked at. Those are serial numbered to 2,000. And then we have our records collection that we're talking about today. Obviously, we'll talk about those pack odds in a second. And then there's the power deck as well. So, some really cool insert sets in here. Ultimates is also in here, but some really cool insert sets in this 1997 Upper Deck. 96, 97, 98, 99 is kind of when inserts and die cuts and technology kind of took that next level. So that's when all these cards became super popular and super highly sought after. People were trying to rip them out of packs. I've got the records collection set pulled up. It is a 30-player set. 15 of those players are Hall of Famers by my count, give or take 1 or 2. I might have been off, but I've counted it at 15. Somehow AC Green, Joe Smith, Bryant Reeves, Dana Barros snuck in here. Sam Cassell, one of the ugliest players ever to play in the league. So this is probably not a set that you want to chase in graded condition, given the extreme quantity. 30 of them is a lot. And then just some of the, not so relevant players from the 90s actually snuck into the set. Not that those players were terrible, but I don't know a lot of AC Green, people who PC AC Green out there. So this is probably not, one where you want to try to catch all 30 in graded condition. You'll be throwing some cards to PSA, and they'll probably be looking at you with kind of a strange eye. But let's go back and let's look at the card itself, right? Let's appreciate the actual card itself. I've got it pulled up here in my PWCC vault. Again, let's not look at that top left white corner. Let's get it just off the screen so you can't see it. But each one of these cards is a black background with the, it kind of features a tilted red record in the background. It even has the words on the record, like sort of how they would look on a vinyl record from back in the day. And this black is actually etched. You can't really tell by looking at it on the screen, but it is. And then down here, basically each one of these cards features some type of record that particular player set. And so the record they chose for Michael Jordan was from his 1997 NBA All-Star game, where or actually it might have been the 1996 NBA All-Star game, where he had a triple-double. He had 14, 11, and 11, and we're about to read about it on the back. But, if I had to guess, he was used to scoring in the 30s in All-Star games and high 20s and dominating the game and being ball dominant. And I think he was just worn down by this age, and he just wanted to move the ball. And he probably wanted to do something he'd never done before, like get a triple-double in an All-Star game. And sure enough, he did it. And here's the narrative on the back. I always like to read these for you guys. It says, aside from his NBA Finals accomplishments, Jordan's NBA All-Star game performances have provided some of the best highlights of his career. In the 1997 midseason classic, Jordan tallied the first triple-double in All-Star game history. Yes, he was the first to do it, with 14, 11 boards, and 11 assists. And so that's what we've got as far as the card itself goes. Let me know what you guys think. I like it. It's clean, it's black, it's red, and that's, as we're about to see, going to lead to some serious condition sensitivity issues and some difficult gem rates. So as we always do, I like to give you guys this little table here to kind of pull up to look at, so you can take a screenshot if you've got that capacity and you're tech savvy, or you can just hold your phone sideways and take a snap a quick picture of it and have it in your phone and blow it up that way. But here's our table. We look at the PSA 10s, the BGS 9.5s. Those are pop 14 and 13 respectively. The gem rates are not that crazy by Jordan standards, believe it or not. But they're 11% and 14% respectively, about the same number, a little bit more graded with PSA than with BGS over the years. Remember, this card is a 25, almost 26-year-old card. The last PSA sale price was $9,300. I paid $9,750 about 6 months ago, as we're about to see on the card ladder report. So I've set this record. That's not something I really like to brag about, but it's not something I'm ashamed of either. It happens. So that's the big, the other thing that stands out to me on this table is that 51% submitted to BGS get a BGS 9. That seems like a high percentage to me. If you look at PSA, in that kind of commensurate grade, PSA 9 is kind of the equivalent of a BGS 9 as far as PSA goes. It's the next best thing to a 10, is a 24% gem rate. So PSA is handing out a bunch of 8s and 7s apparently, because only a combined 35% have gotten 10s or 9s, whereas in BGS, combined BGS 9.5s and BGS 9s, you're looking at about 65%. So your odds of grading higher are better with BGS. Obviously, you're going to see a tremendous price disparity between a PSA 10 and a BGS 9.5, regardless of the fact that the pops are almost identical. Highest sale, sometimes these don't really help that much because it just depends on when they sold and how recently they've sold. So you can ignore this BGS 9.5 record sale price of $35.51 because that was the last sales price. But if we go to Card Ladder, I've got it pulled up here. That last BGS 9.5 sold in December of 2020. So a hell of a lot has happened in the hobby, and you can even see Card Ladder thinks it's worth at least double what it sold for back in December 2020, just due to the massive explosion in the Jordan card index. But going back, the other things that stand out is the fact that the PSA 10 has sold twice in the last 6 months, myself being one of those purchases on PWCC, and the fact that the BGS has not sold at all in the last 6 months. And as we've seen, it hasn't sold in, the last 18 months. So not a lot of copies out there. If you've got a gem copy of this, there's only 27 in the world. You're probably hanging on to it. I know I am. We'll talk a little bit more about it. The card's gone down 5% from the time that I bought it. So the last one sold for $9,300. Mine was $9,750 when I purchased it. The pop's gone up 2 on the PSA 10. The pop has not changed on the BGS 9.5s, but people are submitting it, as you can see, because 16 combined have graded PSA 9 and BGS 9. One interesting tidbit here is if you want to pick the copy up in BGS 9, it's probably not a bad time to do so. It's gone down 46% in the last 6 months, and let's pull that up because that's crazy to me. It's still not a high pop card. You're talking about a pop 40 with only 14 or 13 BGS 9.5s. Look at the card over the last year, down 28% over the last 6 months. Down 46%. So this card was pushing $1,000. I mean, it obviously got over $1,000. Got up to $1,450 at one point, right at the end of the first quarter bubble of 2021. But over the last 2 years, it's been pretty steady, unlike most Jordan cards, which have risen at an astronomical rate over the last 2 years, despite the recent regression. So not a bad time to pick up a BGS 9 if you were interested in that. That's not my play. That's not what I choose to do, but just letting you know that that is out there. If we look at the history of the PSA 10, there you go. I'm going to give you the last 2 years. We can do all time if you want to. It's kind of weird looking. It's going to look like every Jordan graph. It's up 6,380% from 2006. I'm not sure how helpful that is. None of us have a time machine. But if we look at the last 2 years, in comparison to the BGS 9, which is, up 6%, this card's up 431% over the past 2 years. So when I see that, I think to myself, hey, BGS 9 might not be a bad play because there's only so many PSA 10s and BGS 9.5s out there. There are no BGS Black Label 10s. There are no BGS 10s. There's no BGS 10 of any player in the entire 30-player set. There are also, there's only one other PSA 10 Records Collection card in existence other than Jordan, and that is Shaquille O'Neal. So none of the other 28 players have ever received a PSA 10 for their Records Collection insert. So those of you out there who like to buy raw, grade, and flip, hey, if you think you can pull a 10, if you think you've got that kind of eye and you've got a jeweler's loop times 1 million and you think you can pull the PSA 10 or find it on eBay, my hat's off to you if you can figure that out. PSA is not giving out 10s on these cards. It does not look like 15 ever in 30 years, 35 years. There are 27 combined copies of PSA 10 and BGS 9.5. So total gems out there between the two big graders. There's 27. I don't talk about SGC, although they are very reputable, and it sounds like CGC or CSG is making a move into the hobby. You know what? We'll let that settle for now due to time constraints. I'm going to stick with PSA and BGS. What's on eBay? We always like to look at that. When I search 1997 Records Collection Jordan, here's what I pull up. Believe it or not, somebody graded it with HGA and a 9. Let's see what this one sells for. Somebody might have the idea to buy that card, crack it out of that ridiculous case, even though it actually does look good. That ridiculous case, and submit it to PSA and grab a PSA 9, and then their card's worth approximately $850 to $1,000. It'll be curious to see what HGA 9 yields on this Records Collection insert. CSG 7.5, a raw. An 8.5, an 8. There's one coming up. There's a rocket ship. I'm not sure. Oh, it's a Jordan Well 1997 land speed record. So some kind of car that goes really fast that you can get for $2. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just a photo of the car. You can't get the actual rocket ship for $2. And that's not bad shipping from the United Kingdom. But here is the PSA 10. So this is intriguing. So for a couple of reasons. Number one, there's 14 in the world, and one of them is sitting here on eBay, and it's not at a crazy price. Like usually you'll see cards like this that are super rare Jordan inserts that are, just difficult to find, that show up once a year or once every 6 months. You'll see this listed at like $23,999. This seller's got it posted for a relatively reasonable price. I'm not saying go out there and pay $3,000 over the last comp or whatever, but if he's at $12,999, and this is the other thing I want to draw your attention to, if he puts on here DMIG, that is a not very subtle way to get kicked off eBay, but this particular seller is saying, hey, DM me on IG. Maybe we can get a deal done for something lower. You might be able to pick this card up for $9,500, $9,700, $10,000, something like that, somewhere near the last comp. I would love it if someone would go get it for $9,751, so I no longer hold the record for the highest price paid for a PSA 10 Records Collection card. Please, somebody take me off the hook and make me feel less like an idiot for buying a pretty much low quality PSA 10, if there is such a thing, of this card at a record price. We've got another BGS 8.5, another raw, and then a PSA 7 for $9.99, which is overpriced, another CSG, and then here's the same 10. And I'm not sure why, but this tends to happen on occasion. Like you'll see the same listing in eBay twice under the same search. Not really sure. If you're a gambler and you want to go buy a box of Series 2 1997 Upper Deck, I didn't see any. All I see is Collector's Choice, Little Doll, Collector's Choice, Collector's Choice, Collector's Choice, Collector's Choice, Collector's Choice, Space Jam, Collector's Choice Packs, Collector's Choice Packs, Collector's Choice Packs, and that's it. I could not find a 1997 Upper Deck Series 2 basketball box, so maybe I'm searching wrong, or maybe there's something I don't understand, but I don't see it out there for all you gamblers who want to just bust the box and rip and hope to get a Diamond Dimensions or whatever. Fact of the matter is, Diamond Dimensions is so hot, and some of these other ones, the game jerseys, are so hot, somebody might have scooped up all these boxes and they're not for sale and they've all been ripped. I have no idea, but they're just not out there waiting to be had. What do I own and what grades? I own a 10, and as I said, I own a PSA 8 as well, at least for a couple more days. It's going to sell in the PWCC auction that's coming up. in the next few days. It's going to end on Sunday evening. So give that a look. Seriously, though, if you're looking for a PSA 8, it's a pretty clean copy as well. Am I a buy, a sell, or a hold with what I have? Well, obviously, I'm selling my PSA 8. I'm a hold long term for my PSA 10. As you know, once I get that gem insert in my collection, I keep it there. I'm trying to get one. I'm trying to fill the next, hole in my bucket before I add a duplicate. So I'm not out there looking to buy a duplicate 10 or buy 9s and 8s. I'm just not into that. Even though I do think a BGS 9 is not a bad move on this card. But I'm a hold on my PSA 10. I'm not looking to sell it. I'm not looking to trade it. I'm not looking to consolidate Jordan inserts. If I'm going to consolidate my collection, which I am at a pretty massive degree right now over the next 60 days, it's going to be a very interesting time in my life and a turning point for my collection. None of those are going to be unique Jordans that I own. There are some Jordan duplicate inserts and parallels that I've got at auction. But there are no unique Jordans that I only own one copy of in high grade that I am looking to sell or consolidate. Those are my passion, and that's my long-term collecting goal. The PSA 10 and the BGS 9 are both what I qualify as mid-level inserts, meaning between $5,000 and $10,000 each. The PSA 10 could certainly conceivably jump over the $10,000 mark. The next sale, it's not out of the question. The BGS 9.5 could push the $10,000 mark into that high level insert category that I have between 10 and 20,000. With over 20,000 being what I would call grail level. Again, we overuse, or I guess we diminish the word grail and what it should mean by basically just meaning any humongous card you don't see very often. So, but both of those cards in PSA 10 and BGS 9.5 are somewhere in that mid-level insert price category. What are some cards that are comparable to this records collection card you see on your screen? What are some cards that are comparable to this that you might have to choose between in that $10,000 to $12,000, $9,000 to $12,000 price range? Well, I've got a couple of them pulled up in Card Ladder. We always like to look and see what range this card's in compared to others. It's in the same category as the 1997 Ultra Stars. It's in the same category as the 1993 Scoring Kings, which has I say that the last sale of this card dipped considerably. And look, I'll even pull it up here. You can see if we look at the last 6 months, the card was hovering around 16, 15,000. And then the last one, for whatever reason, was $10,100, and it was on eBay. So I don't know if it was bad timing. Maybe it was on a weekday in the middle of the night or in the morning. I don't know. But that is taking a bath for some reason, going from 14 or 15 all the way down to 10,000, 40% dip from what it was 6 months ago. So maybe there was something more going on there. And then the last card that you can compare it to is this 2003 SP Signature, Authentic Signature Jordan in PSA 10 condition. So if you're asking me what I would choose, I would choose Records Collection first, just because of the scarcity. The population is 14. I would probably choose the Scoring Kings here second, even though it's a pop 97. I don't think that $10,100 is an accurate number. I think that card's going to jump back closer to 14 or 15,000 on the next sale. I would choose the Ultra Stars next, which I'm also happy to have this card in PSA 10 condition as well. That's a pop 19, so that card is also pretty rare in its own right. And then lastly, I would take the autograph, because I just don't collect Jordan autograph cards, but I know some of you guys out there do. And that's only a pop 19 card. And let me get this straight. That is a beautiful autograph with that particular autograph. Super beautiful, but really beautiful Jordan autograph card from 2003 in a really popular SP Authentic product. So that's it, guys. On the Cajun cardboard scale of relevance, where do I rank this card? I probably put this card as a 7 out of 10. It gets to a 7. It's not the most highly sought after. It's probably not even a top 30 or 40 most sought after Jordan insert from the 90s, but in PSA 10 condition, it is pretty dang rare with only a pop of 14, and it's not like there's a lot of BGS 9.5s out there either. There's only 13. So this is a card that doesn't show up very much, as evidenced by the fact that only 2 gems have sold in the last 6 months. So it gets a 7 out of 10 on my scale. It's not irrelevant, but at the same time, it's not the most highly sought after Jordan insert out there. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of Explore the Card. If you liked it, hit the bell icon for notifications. I release one of these episodes every Friday. If you've gotten through the whole episode, you clearly love Jordan cards like I do, consider giving my YouTube channel a subscription, because there's tons and tons of Jordan content out there. I released another Jordan video just as recently as today, so stay in tune for that. I'll release probably 5 to 7 videos a week. I know that sounds crazy. I don't know how long I'll keep that up, but that's kind of what my pace is right now. Maybe I'm going to crash into a wall soon, but right now I'm having a blast and getting a lot of great feedback, so I'm going to continue trying to be consistent for you guys. And one more thing, I've just started an episode with a co-host. His name is Josh Adams. He's at Midwest Vintage Cards. We have a show called The Pop Report. I think you guys would like it. We touch on 3 different topics every Sunday evening, and then we release that conversation on Monday, screen and screen, so you can see my screen and you can see Josh and what he's got. And we show some really cool cards. We talk a lot about 90s stuff specifically, but we'll talk about current events in the hobby. And we each have very different collections, and so it makes for a pretty interesting little podcast that we do every Sunday evening. It's usually about an hour long. Those release every Monday at 4 p.m. Anyway, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching episode number 25. I can't believe we have basically a half a year of Jordan Explore the Card episodes in the book. That's about exactly when I started my channel, about a half a year ago. I'm up over 800 subscribers, and I really can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys validating what I do and you know, at least entertaining the basketball card hobby. It's great to have as many of you as possible. I've got a lot of great DMs. And very few nasty ones, believe it or not, over the past 6 months. And for those of you who have reached out with all your kind words, I truly do appreciate it. And I appreciate your subscriptions and you guys just who watch the channel and don't subscribe. So thank you for watching today's episode. Keep collecting, stay positive in the hobby, and peace.